Hello again, this is Malie and I'd like to welcome you to another Garden Wise Adventures. Today I'm going to introduce our first plant of the week, and that is a serviceberry. Before I talk about serviceberries, I would like to kind of talk more about rare fruits. Serviceberries are a rare fruit. You know, most people don't know what they are, they haven't grown them. They're actually a native plant to the state of Utah. So most of the plants that I'm going to talk about do really well in Utah. They'll do well in the Southwest, maybe not as well on the East Coast. I like to focus in my yard on fruits that a lot of people haven't heard about in the past, they've never grown before. I do have apples, cherries, plums, pears. I have all the regular fruits, but I do grow a lot of unusual fruits, and I would like to focus a little more on those. If you would like to know more about the fruits, like the apples, pears, plums, peaches, let me know and we can talk some more about those. So anyway, serviceberries. This is my serviceberry. As you can see, it has quite a bit of fruit on it in various stages of ripeness. So let's look at it more closely and let's talk about serviceberries. Okay, so this is my serviceberry bush. Let me back up and get a little better picture of it. It's under my jujube tree, which we'll talk about at another time. But serviceberries, they can come in trees or shrubs. They actually even have a narrow upright variety called obelisk. It gets about 20 feet tall and 3 feet wide. This one is a regent serviceberry. Regents get around 8 feet tall and maybe 6 feet wide. This is what the leaf looks like. They are absolutely a gorgeous plant. In the spring, they have white flowers, beautiful panicles of flowers, which turn into this fruit. Now, let me see if I can find some really ripe ones. Okay, the fruit that I have right here, red is not ripe, it doesn't taste great, but it turns black when it's ripe. This one, notice how near where the stem was, it is still red. I don't know if it's focusing. There it goes. Yeah, if it is red at the stem, it is not completely ripe yet. It still tastes good. Let me see if I can find one that is completely ripe. Okay, I have found a serviceberry that is completely ripe. If you notice, right where the stem attached, it is completely dark all the way around. These are when they're the sweetest and the best. I like to eat my serviceberries fresh, the ones that the birds don't get. Anyway, let's get harvesting and see how many we can find. Okay, well, I'm done picking, and I got just enough to eat a little bit fresh. And I think what I'll do with them is the same thing as I do with my strawberries and raspberries. What I like to do is put them in my blender, grind them all up, stick them in a freezer bag, and then when I get a full bag, I will combine them with my strawberries and raspberries and make jam. It's really good that way. They work really well. Now, if you'd like to grow serviceberries, the best way to do it is choose an area that is in part sun. They're an understory plant, they like part sun. They can do well in full sun, but they really thrive in part sun. I have mine on the east side of my house. They can survive in dry soil, in rich soil. They don't like to be extremely wet, but you can put them where they do get lawn water. They grow in zones, I think it's 3 through 7. And here in Utah, if you look at the USDA zone map, we're in zone 7, which is another topic in and of itself. I do not get plants that are zoned any higher than zone 6. It's mostly because our winters can get a lot colder than zone 7 plants can tolerate. there's climate change. I don't want to get into the politics of that, but the winters have been getting warmer, and I have seen plants survive in this zone that haven't survived here before. My rosemary is about 12 years old. It did die off about 3/4 in a really cold winter about 6 years ago, but it has thrived since, which is telling me that the winters are possibly getting a little bit warmer. So anyway, this plant will do anyway. Serviceberry will do well in anywhere between zone 3 and zone 7. They do really well in Utah. We actually have a native serviceberry here that if you can find it in the mountains under trees and stuff like that. Let me see if there's anything else. I can't think of anything else right now, but if you have any questions, if you've grown serviceberries, if you have grown any other rare plants that you'd like to talk about, just let me know. I'd love to hear what you're growing in your garden. Until then, have a great adventure.